Everybody wants to be successful, and yet we all have different ideas of what that is. Finding success is the journey we embark upon to go and get what's ours. We are willing to travel down within to find our greatness buried deep inside of us, questioning society's views and flipping the script, putting our own stamp on life. We're here because our future is within our control. Finding success is how we grab hold of what is possible. The relentless pursuit of success starts here. We're finding success, and we're here to help break that monotony of your life and help you find your version of success. Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Finding Success podcast. This week's a little different. We're going to talk about an individual this week, as opposed to something that will help you, find success, help you gain knowledge, etc. We're going to talk about an individual, someone we both look up to quite highly, someone that the world does quite highly. In his field, he's the best. There's no doubt about it in my mind. He is the best at doing what he does. And that person is the Oracle of Omaha, as you saw in the title. It is Warren Buffett, the world's best investor, without a doubt in my mind. I'm just going to talk to you about his life story, about his successes, his failures, and how we got there, basically. So Dodds, why don't you start us off?
Well, first of all, hello everyone. Hope you're doing well. Back here again. I survived another week. The Oracle of Omaha. It already sounds pretty groovy, doesn't it? It's just like almost like a dance tune. I went. No, it's not that scary. Warren Edward Buffett, born August 30th, 1930. Now that just blows my mind saying that.
1930.
Yeah,
that's mad.
Pretty scary, isn't it?
That is.
Born in Omaha, Nebraska, which is why his nickname, Oracle of Omaha. His dad was a chap named Howard Buffett, and Howard started his own investment firm, which is probably where Warren picked it up from, seeing his dad go out the door every day, probably in the suit, some fresh kicks, polished, happy as going to work. Early on as a child, Warren wanted to turn his money into more money. Obviously, he got an allowance from his dad. And at the age of 7, he went door to door selling Coke and chewing gum to start off with, just to see if he can gain some extra pounds, which just blows my mind. And it's quite funny. You look back in school and you can see, like, there's always a kid that was selling fizzy drinks or chewing gum. And it's always fizzy drinks and chewing gum.
Yeah.
Not saying that they're going to be the next Warren Buffett, because there's no chance of that. But even so, pretty weird.
It's a trait that some people have in them. A little wheeler dealer trait in it.
Yeah.
That you just have in you.
But I think it's quite a good, it's very good people skill. Because it's one way of, as a kid, I know I was very shy, very timid, and I didn't really want to go out and speak to new people. And here's this 7-year-old kid knocking on people's houses trying to sell them Coke and chewing gum. Imagine that in America, going in, you want to buy some Coke and some chewing gum? You know what I mean? As a 7-year-old kid, it's just a bit scary. Imagine doing that nowadays. It's unbelievable. But I mean, there's no kid nowadays that would go door to door, knocking on the door saying, do you want some Coke and chewing gum? Because they'd be playing Xbox or they'd be doing something. They wouldn't be going outside. It's really, really strange in how times have shifted. And it's fine. This evolution of the world.
Good point.
But it's people are doing it now on Twitch. 7-year-old kids are now earning money on Twitch rather than knocking door to door. So
good point.
It's evolved. Maybe they're earning more money than what Warren Buffett was back at the age of 7. You don't know, do you? Which reminds me, I'm going off topic already. I saw a kid the other day. I was flicking through Facebook, and one of these kids was streaming with his dad, and his kid was so young, but they had something like 21,000 watchers or viewers or something. And obviously people were paying to, what do you call it? Subscribe, yeah. People were paying to subscribe. And this kid was just earning like a few grand. And it's just unbelievable. Obviously his dad would take the cut, probably majority of the cut. Hopefully they'll split 50-50. If you're listening to some, I hope you get 50% of it. But do you know, it's just unbelievable. Like nowadays kids can earn that money. I would say he wasn't a day over 6, 7. A day over 6 or 7. Easy. We'll go 7.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. So going back to Warren Buffett, sorry. Bought his first stock at the age of 11, which is highly illegal nowadays. You have to be 18. We'll let you off, Warren, because you're just a legend.
Is it illegal? I suppose you can't own a stock.
18, isn't it?
I don't know.
You can't sign up to a trading platform unless you're the age of 18.
Brokerage won't be able to say.
Yeah.
No.
He went to the University of
Columbia?
Yeah, correct. Where did he apply to?
He did try to get into Harvard Business School, didn't he?
Yeah, he
beforehand.
did. And I'm not quite sure what it was to study. I'm not sure if it was to study
business or economics.
Business or economics or something. But his degree in Columbia was...
I've got it written down. It's social... It was he had a master's in science and economics must be social economics in 1951. Science and economics? My handwriting's terrible.
But in his dad's office as a kid, he read every single book in the office that he could find. And I think that is where he bumped into Ben Graham's name.
Mr. Graham, yeah.
And ever since that day, I think almost Ben Graham was an idol to him, as Warren is an idol to 99.9% of all investors in the world. And he then found that once he got turned down from Harvard, that I've got an opportunity here. I've been given the golden egg to go and actually send Ben Graham a letter and say, can I study underneath you with David Dodd?
Columbia. Yeah.
Obviously, they got accepted. David Dodd gave him the thumbs up. And he got his degree in what year was that, sorry?
1951.
21 years old. Crazy.
He did move to New York for a little bit after that.
Did he?
He left Omaha.
So he left Omaha to move to New York?
Yeah. To work with Graham closely. And it was only for a few years because then Graham sold up and...
For Graham's firm?
Yeah, he was in, under his wing, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, carry
on. Outside of the investment side of things, he actually took a Dale Carnegie speech and human, I don't know what you call it, human interaction course, wasn't it? And if you haven't read the book that Dale Carnegie's written, he's written many books, but one is How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, I was going to ask you the other day if you read.
Good book.
Have you read it?
Really good book. There's very many things in there that are so simple, and you, as a person that has read a few books, and especially a few books on influencing people and saying the right things, it all makes sense. And when you read the book, and it all makes sense on how you word things and how you come across to people and how they act around you and how you perceive their actions and they perceive your actions. Very good book. Read it. Just go and read it. It's not long.
It's on my list.
It's like 280 pages or something. It's a very, very short book. It's a really nice book to read. Very easy. Go and read it. So I guess that's where he learned his skill of speaking, of listening, of getting people to like him. You know, because everyone likes him. There's one person that absolutely hates Warren Buffett. It's impossible to hate a 92-year-old man or however old he is. Do you know what I mean? You just don't do it. He's just a great guy. Which is why in April, I think it's April, isn't it? He has his annual meeting. And a normal annual meeting will be boring. They just talk about numbers and no one really wants to go. But when Warren Buffett hosts an annual meeting, it's streamed on Yahoo Finance. And 9 times out of 10, he'll have over 1 million people watching it at one point.
Just to listen to him speak.
Yeah, but whatever it is, he always gives pieces of information that will help younger investors or new investors or old investors that have been doing it for years. There's always nuggets of information to learn off Warren, no matter when it is. So whenever he's speaking, listen to him. And then at the age of, I'm not sure what, he started his first investment company known as Buffett Partnership Limited. And he was a millionaire by 32.
Not bad.
Which is mental. Now, when you think of a millionaire back in 1950 something, Jesus.
This is when it's powerful. So I'm going to go back a little bit from where you were. He bought those first stocks that he bought 11 years old.
Yeah.
They were $38 each. Right. So in today's money, that's a few hundred pounds. That's not nothing.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
At the age of 11.
At 11.
Yeah.
Right. He's bought, it was a number of shares as well. It wasn't just a singular, it was a number at $38. So, and I there was a conversion, it was something offensive, the total he spent. And he then sold them when they went up just $2. to $40. He was like, yes, rubbing his hands together. He's just made a serious coin because like $2 back then was huge. It was $30-$40, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
And he sold it for $40. Anyway, he learned very quickly at that point that he needed to have patience because it soon went up to $200 a share. The shares he invested in. So that was one of his first biggest mistakes, selling too early. And that helped develop, obviously, develop him into who he is today.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, I just thought I'd get that out there.
No, that's mega. I never realised that.
The money they're playing with back then doesn't sound like a lot to us, a couple $100, $338, but in today's money, that million is hundreds of millions now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's big.
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
I never knew that. And yeah, obviously, being a millionaire by 32, as you said, the conversion rate.
Today's money.
What is that now?
I reckon we could Google it and find out, but it'd be hundreds of millions, I think.
Yeah, it's just unreal.
Yeah.
And then, so Warren Buffett's investing knowledge back then was he was looking for companies that were very, very cheap. Whether they were failing, not failing, he was just looking for cheap companies, buying them, hoping that the share price would go up. And unfortunately, young Buffett invested in a company that was failing, a failing textiles business, known as Berkshire Hathaway, which is obviously, as the majority of you already know, is a company that he works for today, or owns today. Do you know why he took that company over? Do you know why he sort of bought into it? As you said, he's just looking for cheap companies that are. He doesn't really care of how the company is being run. Yeah, he was just looking for, and hopefully the price would go up. And he bought the company, as he did a few companies at the time. However, he had an argument with a few of the managers when it comes to sell. Now, as you said, there's a few reasons for that. As managers that he wasn't maybe happy with the way that they managers run the business. He wasn't happy with the returns that he was getting on his investment. It was going down. He wasn't happy. He wanted to get out. So what he'd done is he came to the investors and he said, look, I want to sell. I'm at 11.50. And the investors, the managers were like, well, we can't do that, but we can offer you 11.35 or 11.37. And he was like, no, I'm not selling that. So in spite, he bought the old company. He was like, have some of that. Kicked all the managers out, didn't he? Started fresh. And it went from a textile company to an insurance brokerage company, didn't it, if I'm right in saying?
So it did actually fail as a textile company, didn't it? Because when he bought it, he still wanted it to be.
Oh, did he? I never knew
did.
that. Okay.
I believe that's my understanding of it. He wanted it to still be a textile company and develop and grow as that, but it just never took off the ground. So that's when he converted it to that insurance acquisition company. Just distract you a little bit.
No, you're fine. Don't you worry. Button into mine. Yeah, so as you said, he then went on to changed it from a textiles company that, as you said, failed into the insurance brokerage company that is or was. And at the time, when he'd done that, he was still looking to buy companies at a cheap price. But I think he kind of learned his lesson with Berkshire Hathaway because he realised that he didn't need to buy companies at a cheap price anymore. He wanted to buy a good company at a fair price. When Charlie Munger came in and influenced him quite heavy, I think that is when his shift became part of you want to buy great companies at a fair price, not good companies at a cheap price.
When did Charlie Munger come into it? Do you know?
No. That's a question that
sorry,
spans my knowledge. Yeah, no, I never found out about that. I presume that Charlie was maybe working with Warren at the time,
okay.
Whether that be at Berkshire Hathaway or just in a separate Buffett partnership limited. But Charlie obviously heavily influenced Buffett's future.
Yeah, definitely. Still
and
does
the way
today.
He does today, exactly. And just seeing Charlie and Buffett is like two brothers working together. It's just brilliant. They're old as, bless them. They're 90s, but they've still got
their shareholders meeting is funny.
Yeah,
but it's fantastic.
when you get some odd question about cryptocurrency and Charlie's like nothing more to add. He's just shutting gazes down left, right, and centre. Oh, it makes me smile. It does make me smile. And from there, obviously, Berkshire Hathaway went to strength and strength. So, 1958, I think he bought the house he still lives in today.
Correct.
And every single day, do you know what his salary is, by the way?
Oh, no, not a clue.
Year-on-year salary, have a guess. So bear in mind, this guy, Warren Buffett, was the world's richest man in 2008. Does that surprise you? No. Financial crash. What does he do? Financial, he's a smart boy.
Yeah.
He was the world's richest man in 2008.
I didn't know that, to be honest.
Mental. But what do you reckon he takes home?
Is it something
now?
silly like nothing? Is it less than $100,000 a year?
It's $100,000.
It's $100,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
$100,000. The geezer takes him $100,000 a year. The majority of that pays for probably his Mackey's breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
Because every single day he goes to Mackey's, and if it's a good day, he buys a bacon and egg sandwich with sausage. If it's a medium day, he'll probably go bacon and egg, and if it's a bad day, it's just sausage. And that's genuine. That's not even a lie.
I've heard that.
Because it goes at like $3.16 or something. The next one up's like a bit more frugal at $3.28, and then the next one's up at $4.
Oh, so the bad days are the cheap
all
ones, just sausage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's bad financial day.
Yeah.
The day before he's had a tough
Yeah,
big
if
loss.
it's a bad financial day in the markets,
Ah.
he has a cheap sausage sandwich from Mackey's. If it's been a good one, he'll have egg, bacon, the whole shebang.
Brilliant.
It's mental, isn't it?
That's
Mental. Every single day in, day out. He drives his, I think it's like 2010 Cadillac VTS that he's owned probably since that day. And he's only recently got rid of his Nokia flip phone and moved into
What's he
the
got?
days. I'm not sure what he's
I
got.
bet he can't shout out.
But you
too
know what
loud.
it's going to be, don't you? Because he earns 50% of the stock.
Oh, is it?
It's got to be, isn't it? It's
I was
going to
ask you.
It's got to be.
You don't know. You don't know.
It's
He
gotta
might have
be.
gone. Who knows?
And so, yeah, by far, in my point of view, he is one of the most influential investors and philanthropists.
It's a hard word to say that, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not going to say. The charity givers of all time. Obviously, he was very, very heavily involved in the Bill and Belinda
Gates Foundation.
Yeah. And do you know what he does in his spare time when he's traveling with Bill? I only found this out the other day. Again, he likes to play bridge with Bill Gates,
Mm-hmm.
which is a card game.
Okay.
So in his spare time, he doesn't really talk about. He talks about has a dog doing or whatever. He talks about that sort of stuff, but he likes to play bridge.
Hmm.
Imagine that. Just imagine Bill Gates and Warren Buffett on a plane, private jet, playing bridge.
I bridge you 6. I don't have
Blows my mind. I don't know how you play bridge.
So the reason that house, it's that little bit of information is so like huge is I don't know. Did we mention what he's worth nowadays?
No, we haven't.
As of
I don't want to scare people too. But yeah, go on.
It's a scary thing. As of the time of recording, according to Forbes list, he is worth a whopping $117.9 billion. Okay, that's phenomenal. He is like the 5th wealthiest man in the world.
Yeah,
and the only people that are above him are Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, the French family that are in charge of Louis Vuitton, and what's their family? The Bernards, I think they are.
Oh yeah,
you know them.
That's a Wyatt from Will Smith thing. What's it called? Preference brother
Bernard. No, I forget them. There's only a few people.
I'll do it anyway.
No, we've got no Wi-Fi at the minute. We're down. There's only a few people ahead of him, and the only reason they are is because of Amazon's gone through the roof. Amazon gone through the roof. Tesla's gone through the roof. That's why the other two big are so huge. Whereas Warren Buffett is just been an investor his whole life. Yeah. Like, he's done nothing other than investing.
100%, he's the most wealthiest investor of all time, and I think he will be the only person that is reached this wealth investing. In this current weight of money,
without a doubt. And that's why it's so impressive that he still had the same house that he bought way back in the 59, 60? 58. Yeah. He's still living in that same humble house that he paid. It was something like £31,000 for it.
Yeah, it was nothing.
The dollars, sorry. It's absolutely nothing. He's still living in it, worth however much he is. Paid himself $100,000 a year. It blows my mind how
Do you know what the funny thing is, right? So you've got, obviously, Elon Musk a few years ago sold a lot of his houses and downsized, but you've probably got the house he currently lives in that has got security to the gills with everything. He's got he's got all the bells and whistles. He's got the guard, he's got the dogs, he's got the cameras, he's got everything. Do you know what Warren Buffett's security is? And I saw a picture of his house the other day. Do you know what security is?
Dog? Is it the Ring, the Amazon Ring doorbell thing?
No,
that's funny.
You know what it is? Obviously, because he hasn't done any home improvements at all since a while.
Not refitted his kitchen.
Well, I hope,
Since
I hope he
58.
has. I hope he has, but
So.
poor, you know.
We've got-
It's a chain.
What, around his
The
gate?
chain goes across his driveway. That's the only security he's got. There is no gate. There is no fence that surrounds his house. There's no guard. There's no dogs. It's a chain.
But you know why that is? Because it's only sentimental value stuff that he has in his house. There is no blinging Rolexes.
Yeah.
There's no Lamborghinis.
Yep.
There's no plasma screen things the same size as the building. He lives a very, like you said, he likes playing bridge. Probably the most valuable thing to him is a pack of cards next to his bed.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very humble man. Doesn't need a lot to live. Has a breakfast for Mackey's every morning, drinks Coca-Cola is his most exotic drink.
Yeah.
He lives, it's not a lifestyle for everybody.
It's not. No, you're right. People enjoy having things. People enjoy stuff and things. People enjoy materialistic things. I
And
spoke
he-
about a few weeks ago.
Exactly. And he is the oddball, manages to escape that.
How amazing is it that man is worth 117 billion pounds that drives a Cadillac that since is 12 years old, house 58, made in
Mad,
58. He's so humble. I bet the most expensive thing in this house is probably the suit that he wears on his back. I don't know.
Probably.
It's been worn by Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
You could auction that off for at least $4
Yeah,
million.
yeah. You
Let's do a hit, guys. No, I'm only joking.
Yeah. So going back to philanthropy. I said that all right.
You said that better than me.
I think so. That's fine. I always panic when I see the word. Anyway, he's the wealthiest philanthropist in the world because obviously he's the fifth most. Yeah, he gives the most as well. I understand he gives the most. You know, I can't remember what year it was now. But as you said, he works closely with the Bill Gates, Melinda Dinger Foundation. He gifted them 185 million shares of Berkshire Hathaway stock back in 1990, wherever it started. Right, and at the time, that was worth 28.3 billion. Right, and that was a huge portion of his wealth because back then I think he was only worth 80 billion. He wasn't worth the hundreds that he is now. Not even 80 billion. It was 90. It was huge. It was a quarter of his wealth, I believe.
Off when you say it was only 8 billion.
Compared to what he's worth now, no, yeah, True. You're right. He's worth the massive is 80 billion, but he was giving away almost 30 billion.
Yeah.
Just gave it to this foundation, and I dread to think what that would be worth now in stocks. I'm sure they haven't got the full 185 million shares, but because they sold some off, it's a non-profit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they believe they fight poverty, disease, and where was it? And inequity around the world. So it seems like a good cause. I don't know a lot about it, so I'm not going to.
I know that they do a lot of stuff in Africa trying to build better lives for people. So they were trying to design a few years back a waterless toilet because obviously the water supply is very low. So they gave out what's that thing? What's that X Prize? Is it called the X Prize or something? Basically, every single year there's a group of people. Tony Robinson's involved with it, and basically they give a list of things that they want to change the world for. Something that's very special that's it's years and years worth of being produced in our daily lives, i.e. the waterless toilet. And they give it to a guy who got one the X Prize on how to design this waterless toilet, and I think they're starting to implement it over there now.
Nice.
It's crazy. So yeah, they do stuff just to make people's lives better that necessarily don't have a better life or don't have a good life, don't have a water supply. Things that they struggle with day to day. It's just an amazing
good cause.
Thing. Yeah, great cause.
And he's constantly donating his wealth to this. I believe, if this was true, he's promised to donate 99% of his wealth to charities, so on and so forth, which is
outrageous. Yeah,
phenomenal. So I want to go back to the investing a little bit more. So just to get your head around as well. I know a lot of people. So humans aren't designed; their heads aren't designed to understand millions, billions, and trillions.
Yeah.
So I've got a fun little game, a little questionnaire I've got for you.
Oh.
About the millions and trillions, right? So turn these millions of dollars into seconds, right? Do you know how long a million seconds?
1 year.
No, it's a million seconds. Come on, Doc. It's 11.5 days.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's all it is. Okay. It's only a million seconds. Come on, count them.
All right.
No. It's 11.5
days. For 11 days.
And it's 11 days, 14 hours, and 40 minutes. It's basically 11 and a half days.
Yeah.
Do you know what a billion seconds is? And we're going off the American billion, so it's like 1,000 million. So do you know what 1 billion seconds? A million is only
years.
Not quite. It's 32 years.
Yeah?
Yeah. A billion seconds is 32 years. So that's the difference. A million, 11 days, 1,000,000,032 years. That's our brains can't comprehend. Yeah, in seconds. Our brains can't fathom it. Then we're not we're never designed to have to worry about these sort of numbers.
We hit a billion and go, oh wow, that's quite a big number.
That's it. It goes in and out.
Yeah.
You don't think about it in depth, but this is how to get an idea of what it is in depth. Do you know what 1 trillion seconds is?
104 years.
No, it's 31,688 years. 31,000 years.
Really?
Yeah.
1 trillion.
1 trillion. So that gives you an idea. So he's now. I'm not saying he's not worth trillions, but there are companies worth trillions out there. Yeah, Apple, Microsoft, Berkshire trillion. He's still billions. Hundreds of billions though. So and obviously Warren himself is only worth 117 billion, whatever it is. So but that's just to give you.
How many years is that though?
117. I wouldn't want to work that out. So 1 billion is 32 years. So
117 dingers. It's a lot of seconds.
That's a lot of seconds.
A lot of years.
We ain't got the time to count that. Even if we count double fast, we ain't got the time to count. Anyway, so going back to the investing side of it, you get an idea of how much he's worth.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you. So we talk about investing a lot here, and we understand the compound interest of investing, etc. Obviously, you've seen over the years he's gone from 1 million at 32 to now worth 102 billion.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not all compounding, but I want to talk to you about one of his investments in Coca-Cola. I think I've spoke to you about this, but so the guys listening, this excites me about investing. This is the cool bit about investing. So back in Deer, a few years ago, between 88 and 94, he bought a huge lump into Coca-Cola. It's about 1.3 billion pounds into Coca-Cola.
Bear in mind, just casting back to his childhood, he sold Coca-Cola at the age of 7. So what does that tell you about his mindset? He loves Coca-Cola from the age of 7. So he's still interested in Coca-Cola. Carry
on. So he bought that. This year alone, I just want to say, so if you understand investing, you know about dividend payments, etc. If you own a company that pays a dividend, they basically pay you to own stock as a thank you, etc. He earned $672 million from Coca-Cola for doing nothing.
Yeah.
For simply holding on to that stock. And that's what excites me about investing. Like, he's done absolutely nothing all year for Coca-Cola. He's drunk a couple bottles. He's probably spent 100 quid over the year on buying Coca-Cola, but he's not actually done any business, no sort of help whatsoever. He's just earned $672 million from Coca-Cola. So after 2 years of those, he's made back his original investments. And obviously this was back in 88, 94. So over the last, he made back his investment in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Everything since then, it's just pure profit. It's just pure cash in the bank. Winner, 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 winner. Growing. And now you might say, again, it's a hard number to comprehend. 672 million, it's a hard number to comprehend. So, I'm going to introduce you to a man called James Quincy. Have you heard of him?
No, I haven't.
He's currently top dog at Coca-Cola.
Okay.
He is the chairman of the board and CEO. So it doesn't get higher than him.
Yeah.
He is top dog. Boom. I think he owns the most shares within the company.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
From insiders.
Okay, inside company.
So,
right, got you.
which is fairly standard for chairman of the board, and you get a lot of stock options as chairmen and CEOs. And don't forget, being that role, it's a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
He probably only gets a certain amount of holiday each year. He has to do every single day of his living life is focused on Coca-Cola, how we can grow it, and etc. You get what I mean? His compensation for that year is still a lovely payday, but he was paid 18.7 million. And it's literally his life to make sure Coca-Cola runs well. He's got paid 18.7 million for running the company.
For doing all the work, being there every single day, day in, day out, minimal holiday, minimal skiing trips, minimal Mackey's trips. He's got to be in at 8:30, finishes at 8.
He's got to show up, show consistency, exactly. Graft his arse off.
Yeah, look after those people, run those people, leadership, plug for last week.
He's got to do all that. He's got paid 80 million, which is a lovely payday.
Yeah.
But Warren Buffett did nothing and got 672 million. I know which one I'd rather get. You just do nothing.
For doing nothing.
Exactly. For just a number of years ago, putting a huge sum, not even compared to what he's earning, a lump sum into a company, he's just reaping the rewards now. It's I find that, I love that about the whole investing world. It blows my mind. That's my fun little factoid. I also want to just go into his failures. Am I interrupting? Have you got something to say?
No, you crack on.
I want to go into his failures because We're about finding success.
Yeah.
And we believe that failures help mold. You can't be successful without failing. It molds your future. You learn, as long as you learn from them, molds your future. So, as I said earlier, the first one is how he sold the stock at $40, his first ever stock, $40, instead of holding on to it. The stock actually went up to $200+ within a year or two. So it wouldn't have taken him very long, but because he wasn't patient at the time, he lost hundreds of dollars. And back then, again, hundreds of dollars is worth thousands and thousands of what nowadays in current money. And that he'll admit himself that was his first ever lesson in patience in the markets. Don't rush. It's a long game. It's not a short game. It is. He's actually got a saying: the longer you hold a stock, the less risky it becomes. The longer you hold the bond, the more risky it becomes. And I don't know if we've gone into bonds too heavily on this podcast yet, and we will do in the future for sure. But the longer you hold the stocks, the better. It's a long game. It pays dividends in the long term. Literally, you've heard the Coca-Cola story. And the second one was the Berkshire Hathaway, the textile company. He couldn't turn it around. So he basically evolved it into what it is today. He had to learn and almost draw from the ground up again.
Yeah.
Start all over. And also, I'll go back again to his first ever stock. Sorry. I just seen another note that was quite cool. So he let his emotions control his investing at that time because he saw it went up $2, got really excited at that sort of income and sold it. He got excited. He let his emotions control it.
Yeah.
Whereas if he'd let his plan control it, he'd have got the $200 per share plus or whatever it went to eventually. So he learned about being in control of your emotions back then. It's
a big lesson.
That's huge for a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. That is a huge lesson to learn, and he's carried that through all the way to today. He still teaches that. His talks, his interviews on YouTube, and he's quite open about it. Yeah, I just want to talk because I think failures are quite important to learn, and if you learn from them, we can learn from other people's failures.
There's a quote that I tried to find. I just couldn't find it then. It was I thought about it the other day, and I was just doing some content creation stuff, and I was sitting down, and it kind of dawned on me that starting this podcast, the first episode to us it might have been a failure to us, but some people it was a good episode, but to us it was a failure. Like it was just no matter how many times we tried to record it, we were saying the wrong thing, or we were. We said the wrong word then, or we wasn't happy with how it sounded, or, we wanted to change the software or the voice or the tone, or it was just something, we always had something to improve on. And that first episode that we probably all saw as a failure was, that's a fail.
Still makes me cringe.
But there's a saying, it just come to my head. We have to lose to learn. So we have to lose things. We have to lose at recording the podcast. We lost that time, we failed so many times. We lost that. But we'd done that so we could learn. He lost $120 extra in that stock, but he learned a big lesson. He learned that you have to wait. You follow your plan, and it will learn. It's going the way you need to go. Look at how you are now. You've learned. So the saying is, we need to lose to learn.
Love it.
Simple. So no matter what happens in your life, for instance, you lost a judo fight. Yeah. I'm bringing it back to martial arts again. But, you lost a judo match. Yeah, you lost one match, but you understand how that person beat you. You understand what he done to beat you. You understand how he pulled you, or how he threw you, or how you landed, or so on. But we've now learned our lesson. We can move on now. We know that this doesn't work. We need to beat this person. We can do it this way. And then you continue to grow and move on. And here we are.
Failures are our future growth.
They build us.
They build us. That's great. That's good.
No matter who, there's no person on this earth that hasn't failed to be who they are today.
A famous one, Elon Musk. So with his SpaceX things, you've all seen these self-landing rockets. Massively incredible.
Very impressive.
Right, amazing. 10 years ago, if someone said, these rockets will land themselves one day,
you'd
laugh.
Yeah.
You'd have wet yourself like, not a chance, but he's gone and done it. And he had some horrific failures.
Yeah, 100%.
Some spectacular videos on YouTube. If you're bored, go and watch them. Amazing. Sorry, I shouldn't swear. But they're that good. They're literally rockets blowing up. For men, our gentleman audience, go and have a listen. It's really satisfying.
Really cool, yeah.
And he failed, but never gave up. And look where he is today. He's got huge NASA contracts and they're landing himself. And he's finding more ways to do it, more like reusing rockets, reusing shuttles, etc. It's just phenomenal. He's failing and failing and failing, but succeeding beyond what we thought was measurable, beyond what we thought was possible.
But he does it not because he gains money from it. He does it because he loves it.
Yes.
He does it for the enjoyment. He does it every day, wakes up because he's looking forward to it. As Warren was to invest in, as you heard the story about Elon and the fire flamethrowers that he'd done. Like he one day woke up, I fancy making a flamethrower. So he just done it and turned it into a business and sold I don't know, 10,000 units or whatever. He'd done it because he enjoyed it. He wanted to make a flamethrower, not because
he found his reason why he found his
he found
purpose in a way.
He found his purpose, and that's same with Warren. Warren has found his purpose from the age of 7, or selling stuff, buying and selling, buying stocks and shares, and at his first price at 11, and at his first lesson at 11, that's a man who he is today. And now he's 92 and still doing the same thing.
Wealthiest man in the world, king of investing. His that name in investing world will ring on long after he's gone, long after we're gone. Exactly. Long after our ancestors are gone. It's iconic name in the investing world now. He is timeless,
forever set in stone,
without a doubt. There will be a Warren statue.
Oh, 100%. I'll buy one. I'll make it. I'm gonna make one. Yeah, he's just the greatest investor in life. Period. And everyone can come at me and saying, "Well, Johnny Davidson down the pub's the best investor." He's not. I'm sorry. In my opinion, Warren's the best, and as you said, he'll always will. I think that's a great point to end it, actually. So, guys, a little bit different today. We've gone for a success story. But it just goes to show you that even with the struggles of his life and how he started his journey, he didn't start in stocks. He started in Coke and chewing gum. So if he's doing that, I'm sure you can too. By the way, if you haven't already, go and follow our Instagram, go and follow Twitter, and please write a review on this podcast. This is what we're here for. We're here to help you. We're here to help you grow. We're here to give you information and help you guys guide and be the best person that you can be. We're here for guidance. We're here for you. We're here for us as well. This is our journey, and we really love coming on every week and giving you guys information. So yeah, as I said before, if you haven't already, go and follow us on social media. All the links will be down below. Really hope you enjoyed it, because I know we did. We had a great time making this one. And have a good weekend, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Success is available for everybody. So why should you settle for less?